Can you go into more detail, please, on how the Home Assistant MCP server works? Home Assistant controls all of my automation, so I rely on it very much. Angel.
Right. So we mentioned last week that Home Assistant had released an MCP server connector. I think MCP server is probably the right term. Yeah. And this is a great question. And what we said last week remains true. The MCP server allows your AI agents like Claude Cowork, Claude Code, OpenClaw, whatever cursor. There's things that you can use to manage AI agents. I think OpenAI's got something. If it's not out yet, it's coming. And your AI agents can connect to in this case, your Home Assistant interface. The way MCP is, I said it last week, and I'll say it again, Model Context Protocol. I think I have that right. It is a platform agnostic interface, kind of like an API, right? We've talked about APIs before, that connects two different services and lets them talk with each other. So in the case of the Home Assistant one, once you set up the MCP server, you integrate it into whatever AI. Claude Cowork is a perfect example because it's very user-friendly and user-faceable. You add this Home Assistant MCP server to it. You authenticate, right, and give it access. And when you give it access, you will go through a process of saying, here's what I'm letting it do, here's what I'm not letting it do. And then once you do that in Claude, you can say, here are the things that you can do with my permission, and here are the things that you can do without my permission, right? Like in the moment. And so for Home Assistant, what this would do is it would let the AI engine read the state of every one of your Home Assistant devices, and also run automations and change the state of these devices, so you can have your AI agent controlling your home, and it's using Home Assistant to do it. So it's like an API. It's just this interface, but it's not tied to any one AI engine. It's all of them support this MCP protocol. Does that make sense, Pete? Before I move on to kind of the next thing in the steps here. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions on that? And you reserve the right to ask them even after I go to the next thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this week, it became known to me, Stephen Robles actually just posted about it on X, that Fastmail now has an MCP server that they have released. And that lets if you have a Fastmail account, and MCP servers have existed for Gmail and several of the other sort of much, much larger email services for a while. And I've felt left out because I have Fastmail as my primary email, so I can't have my AI agent go and look at my email in that way. I had to do it through like an IMAP interface, and that's, not necessarily the best. But they just released a Fastmail MCP server, and it gets to see, again, with your permission, it gets to see Fastmail, your email, of course. Fastmail also has calendars and contacts, and it can look at that, and then you can, then it can use all of that data as context with your permission. I just want to make that as clear as possible. You have to log in, and like I said, you kind of go through this granular process of choosing what's there and what's not there. So it allows your AI agent to be much smarter. We were just talking earlier in the episode. Here's a great tie-in.
Yeah.
You were talking about, let your agentic browser do this for you, right? And I don't think that use case is covered by this MCP, but I mentioned how, the agentic browsers are fine, but navigating that web tree of JavaScript is a mess. This allows your agentic AI in the browser or elsewhere to bypass having to do that, because it can just talk to the server directly. And that's a much more reliable way than saying, log into, my Fastmail web interface and reply to an email for me. The Fastmail web interface is very robust, but that means that it's a, rat's nest of JavaScript. I don't mean to say that they have bad code. They probably have great code over there, but it doesn't matter. It's a lot for, one thing.
More data than
it's just complex. Yeah, exactly. Because it's so robust. And so this allows it to bypass that, because that interface isn't for computers. That interface is for humans. And so it's a very different thing. When you can have the computers talk computer language to each other, they can be very specific and very reliable. And that's what all these MCPs do. So as you get deeper and deeper into using agentic AI, not just agentic browsing, but agentic AI, meaning the AI is going and doing things for you, all of these MCPs are these are the huge level ups, because if you can connect it to the things that you use in a reliable, efficient way, it changes everything.